Check it out. This is the Social Critics Podcast with your hosts, Driss, Alpha, Bashir, and Sumie. How you guys doing today? Actually, before we even say anything, I got to play this real quick.
You just said that.
All right,
Laurel.
before y'all say something.
Laurel.
What are you guys hearing?
Laurel.
All around Laurel?
Laurel.
I hear Laurel.
Laurel.
I hear Yanny.
Fuck you.
I'm just joking. I hear you. I hear
Laurel.
Laurel.
Only civilized human beings hear Laurel.
No, I didn't hear Laurel up until 3 days after?
I say it again. Only civilized human beings hear Laurel.
Shut up.
I'm gonna play it for you. I'm gonna play it for you in 2 more hours, and then you tell me what you hear.
Okay.
All right, bet.
It changes day to day sometimes.
Yeah.
It's always Laurel for me. Because I'm normal.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
So you're normal. So you're the normal one.
I'm the norm.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember that, people.
So we're gonna talk about shit real quick. No, I know, for real, actual feces. You guys brought up this point, and
I'm gonna
still
say it.
I'm still enamored of this.
Okay. I needed to know, I'm not the only one that does this, but after you poop, please tell me you look at the toilet paper just to make sure. And it's not like the first time you wipe, but it's maybe the second wipe, you're like, okay, good, I'm clean. And I asked Driss a long time ago, and I was kind of nervous to ask him because I didn't know how gross he'd find it. And I was like, babe, do you ever just check the toilet paper after the second wipe? He goes, no, why would you do that?
First of all, no, I didn't say it like that.
Yes, you did.
Y'all
Cassie
married.
was with us.
They married.
Cassie was with us.
That's a married question.
And she goes,
And Cassie's their
"That's not."
daughter.
Cassie was like, no, that's fairly normal. And Driss was like,
All right.
there's no reason to
Next
check.
question: do you guys wipe front to back or back to front?
Well, girls are different.
This is mad wild. I've
No,
never really thought about this.
You need to think about it for women because when you, a baby, you don't want to wipe the poop into the
Bash.
baby's
Well,
mouth.
women get yeast infections that way. If you wipe back to front.
I wipe.
I think
Front to back.
I go
pull up.
front to back.
Yeah, I pull up.
You're supposed to because you don't want your poop to, for girls, through your poop.
down.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I think everybody goes.
Yeah. And if any of y'all think this is nasty, ooh, why would you check your poop? If you ever in your life said, oh yeah, I've had a ghost wipe, that means you checked.
Yeah.
That means you checked.
But you do it.
Wait.
You just don't think about
Yeah.
it.
I got a
it's
better
second
question
nature.
though. Imagine not checking and being like, yeah, I think I'm good.
Dirty ass motherfucker.
So you know what's crazy though? Every other country except for the U.S. they have bidets. So
Yep.
we got dirty asses.
I always
Yeah.
any
Water?
I wash water.
Water, yeah. My
And
family,
if I don't
my
have a
parents-
cup, I take a bunch of paper towels.
Before you go in the stall,
Yeah, and I just soak it, and that's you can just
Yeah.
squeeze it, and I'll clean your booty hole.
I
too.
always use water when I wipe.
always.
When I poop.
That's why you should just buy the baby wipes. Or
I got the baby
Yeah,
wipes.
the butt wipes.
They got dude wipes. now.
And,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah,
this
washable.
doesn't really apply to you guys, but for girls, it happens. Any freaking time I wash my hair, I have hair in my butt crack.
I get hair in my butt crack because of you.
Yo, I was gonna ask you that. I got home and I was about to take a shower, and I just see this long piece of hair hanging from my pubes,
Yep.
and I'm like, damn, I need to shave. And he just keep pulling, and it's like a magic trick.
Yep.
You know when he's pulling out the handkerchief?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's
damn,
funny.
she was giving me head earlier. Damn, how did that shit get caught up in there?
It
Did that ever get caught up in there?
I was going to
Maybe
ask
you
a
should
really
shave your
inappropriate
pubes.
question. I'm not going to.
Were you
Royal
going to ask
wedding.
whose hair that was?
No, it wasn't that. I don't care whose hair it was. It was just going to be. never
Speaking of classiness,
mind. Royal wedding. Yeah.
okay, I know you guys.
Yeah, I don't know
most
shit
guys
about
don't
this.
care about it. The reason why I think it's so cool is because monarchy in England is it's such an old tradition, but it's been just the queen is not so stuck up that she hasn't allowed for traditions to change. She's evolved throughout the years. And honestly, it is a big deal. We don't have a monarchy. We don't look up to royalty, nor do we have a reigning family. We elect a president every 4 to 8 years. And it's not really ever the same family unless you're the Bushes or whatever. But again, I just think it's really cool. I think it is really interesting. And it is cool because she's a mixed girl.
Yep.
So that's interesting.
Shout out my sister.
She's from in Hollywood. But
So why do girls care more about this though?
I mean,
Is it
I think
just the
girls just
wedding?
in general care
Oh.
more about weddings.
Okay.
It's all about becoming a princess too, kind of thing.
Yeah.
This girl's from.
Bashir, did you want to be a princess?
Listen now, my dad said it could be anything.
Shut
I
up. Just go. Whatever point you're going to
But I didn't know she's on a TV show that I really like.
Suits.
Suits. My stupid ass. I was like, damn, she looked like someone.
Wait, could she still be on the? She's still going to be.
Nah,
in-
she's not.
The
on
show
it.
ended.
Oh.
Yeah, the show
But
ended.
is she
But
still
you know
gonna
what's
act
super
or-
cool? Every person or main person that was in the show was at the wedding.
Oh,
The
word.
actors, yeah.
Yeah, they invited the cast to the wedding.
Oh, is that why Idris Elba was there?
Well, he
He
wasn't
wasn't
in
in
it.
the
He's
cast.
just
You just wanted
royalty.
to say
How
Idris
was that
Elba.
wedding, Driss?
It was actually pretty. It was a nice day in
I
London.
think it was awesome seeing your dad there. I think it was awesome seeing
You were
your dad
dressed
there.
nice.
Yeah, you did
Bro, I
dress
hate
up
Shell.
real
I
nice.
fucking hate Shell.
No, but she's come from, and it's kind of sad too because like her family wasn't. Her mom was super supportive. Like she came to the wedding and she met the queen the day before the wedding. But Driss and his sound effects.
Just unplug your phone.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
But her family, like, so her dad didn't come. Which the story though, and you can kind of advise us. He had 2 heart procedures, so he never left. He wasn't able to leave the States. Like he wasn't medically cleared. There's more to it. Like
That's bullocks.
Yeah, like my sister was like, first of all, I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning because my sisters were like screaming because the shit was on. And I thought it was 7 p.m. And it was, 7 p.m. is still daytime.
well, London's 5 hours ahead of us.
Anywho,
Yeah.
I see her smile, bro. I just call her Megan the Scammer. Her smile the whole time they zoomed in. I was like, oh, go get that bag, woman. Oh, go get that bag. She was
She's
looking at-
a high net worth though. I mean, she's
yeah,
like
she's not a
7 million.
scammer.
or
She's not a
something.
scammer.
She's
But-
got her
yeah.
own.
Yeah, she got
Yeah.
her. But the dude, I guess, didn't he take money?
Who
From her?
Harry?
Her dad.
I think she supports her family. So like her stepsister went on Piers Morgan even, and
He's
basically.
a cuck. Fuck that guy. Sorry.
No, he actually stood up for her. He actually called
really don't
her
like
her
Piers
sister
Morgan.
a vulture.
All right, I
Yeah.
remember what my sister
He's a
said.
piece
She
of
said,
shit, though.
her dad went to London or whatever
Yeah.
and took money from the paparazzi,
What do you
right?
mean?
Like for like pictures.
I think I
something
know what
like
you're
that.
talking about. Yeah, basically, just I'll give you some.
And
pictures
he
or two.
was like, he felt so bad. He was like, oh my God. Like he apologized to his daughter.
like he did do it.
He did do it. Like he
Yeah,
really took money from
it's not like a-
paparazzi about this wedding,
Yeah,
right? And then what happened?
I mean, he came out with a public apology, but that kind of already brought out the skeletons.
Yeah, that's the scheme. Like, you're not coming to this wedding.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, I can't come," and she's
Oh yeah,
been
then they
so.
made up a story about like the heart.
He did have 2 procedures,
But,
but
then didn't the doctor say he was clear to go? And then he said something like, "No, I can't go."
I heard,
Yeah.
I heard he sold his ticket or something like that.
well, but you know what's really cool though is Prince Charles, who's Diana's, widowed husband. He walked her down the aisle, which is so endearing, I think, for a father-in-law to step up and be like, "I'll walk her down the aisle." Like she has to feel so accepted after that moment.
It was really cool seeing a lot of black people there.
I got a question though on
Dead
the
ass. I was just saying.
No,
like,
that's
it was-
progressive.
They had like a whole choir. They had a black priest. Oh my God.
He was like
The
a
shade room.
gospel.
Yeah, they had like a little like Alabama black priest come to the royal wedding and speak, right?
That's
Like a
cool.
sermon. And the faces on these white people, bro. Check the shade room. They
They're
have like a
British white
whole
people, too,
Yeah, they're
so
just like
in awe.
in awe of like what this nigga is saying.
But
Like-
they looked intrigued. That's the cool
Yeah.
part about it. Like there wasn't.
And they had a black choir.
My fault. Go ahead. Black choir.
They had a black choir. They had a lot of black people.
Like, I got a question about the dad. So, like, how do you feel as a father watching the father-in-law walk your daughter down the aisle? Like,
Like a piece of shit, I hope.
yeah.
I don't know. I will say though, she was classy through all of it. She didn't put out any terrible statements. She was just like, "I hope he gets better, but we have important things to take care of." Like she was graceful through all of it.
She's super grateful. She looked pretty. She had like no makeup on too.
I wish she did put a little bit more. I just think on your wedding day you could be a little bit more glammed up. But I will
I think she was
say,
going for like the purity kind of thing.
because a lot of people scrutinize her, like, is she going to be conservative enough to pull off? And she wore the most.
Why?
She's a Hollywood actress. She's not like royalty. She wasn't raised in, at least Kate is from London, or from
That circle?
yeah, but she was a party girl too. But Meghan Markle, you have to understand, she's also a divorced Hollywood actress.
Yeah. She's divorced?
And she's
I
older
know.
than Prince Harry. She's 36, he's 33.
Damn, she looked
That's
good
a-
for
No,
No,
I mean, but yeah,
no,
okay,
but
fine.
it's
Old
just,
ass
there's a lot
princess,
of
though.
like she.
That's an old-ass princess?
No, I mean like princes and princesses. I
Well,
feel
they're
like
never going to be king and queen.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not
the
because
thing. Like,
that sucks.
his brother had
His brother's next in line.
3 kids.
no,
already.
Prince Charles is next in line. It's
Oh,
just
yeah, okay.
royalty is so old and like the
Oh, yeah,
like the
yeah.
old dude is next in line.
Queen isn't.
won't croak. This bitch is
How
like,
old is she?
She's like in her 90s
Oh my
for
God.
sure.
So what power? I mean, me and Sumie were talking about this shit earlier, but what power does like the prince or
They
the
have no
queen and
power.
king have?
Like,
They're just figureheads.
It's Parliament,
they're
mostly,
figureheads
right?
now. I mean, back in the day they had power. Now they don't have any fucking power.
They just have
Yeah,
to
they're
basically
parliament.
sign off on everything, but they don't like.
I don't even know if they have that.
They
They
I
do.
thought
They
the
have to sign
parliament,
off
yeah, the
on
parliament.
like certain laws, and then like
They
they
do?
have to declare war. Still, we were looking it up.
The monarchy can still do that.
They have
That's
to. They can
wild.
declare war, but it's not like. I
That's
think over
stupid on England's part, by the way.
That's dumb as
Like,
fuck.
I do not want. What's her name? Queen what's her
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth fucking declaring war on somebody. Not that the Brits are gonna go to war, unless we go to war. Then they'll go to war.
But Prince Harry and William have all been in the war or
yeah.
served. Yeah, in the
Served.
armed forces.
That's
So.
crazy.
That's
I didn't know,
what's
I didn't
super
know they
cool.
can
They
still
really,
make
really
laws.
served.
That's wild.
Now I remember
Wow.
what I wanted to ask. Didn't you tell me how like they met?
Yeah, so they had a mutual friend that set them up on a blind date, and like
all right, so stop. How does that happen? How do
they
you-
didn't announce the name of the friend. They actually, in their interview, they asked. They were like, "Well, we're gonna keep it."
Wasn't she in front row in the blue dress?
Was she? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure my sisters were saying like that's the girl that set him up.
The interview that they had, though,
date
the
with a
formal
princess?
interview after the engagement, they didn't announce it. So
okay.
maybe it came out. They just said for her privacy.
Imagine going on a blind date with a princess.
No,
A
no,
prince.
with the prince.
Well, I'm saying for you. I'm saying like for a guy.
I'll still be the prince.
All right, nigga.
Don't roll your eyes at me. You know this
All right,
shit.
nigga.
Hey, no, that'd be crazy. That's like a whole movie kind of thing.
That's what I'm saying.
all coming to America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, hey, look, I hope
Coming to British.
I hope because we're recording this on the day of the royal wedding. I hope Prince, what's his name,
Harry.
Harry. I hope he bangs out that mixed woman.
My nigga's
and has
losing his
fun.
hair though. Yo, he's losing
William
his
was
hair.
already though.
Yeah,
losing
but
his
William
hair,
looks
but-
crazy,
For-
dog. He looks like Homer Simpson.
He's a fucking ginger though too.
Yeah,
and
a
but I
balding
don't- I don't-
ginger.
No. But I think he's a good looking kid.
He
I wanna
catches
know-
his beard.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he's a good looking.
That kid
he's
is gonna. So you got a
Yeah,
white
what the fuck is
ginger,
a kid gonna look
Oh,
like?
man.
a white girl, and a black girl into a kid.
Question: Aren't there a lot of like?
Blake Griffin.
Didn't they used to inbreed their children like in royal families?
Used to what? Inbreed?
Yeah, well, because they had to keep it in the.
Well, they wanted
in the
it,
royal.
yeah.
They had to keep it in the royal.
But look how much. What I'm saying is how much it evolved because Princess Diana was not royalty, and since her, they haven't married. So Prince Charles remarried. What's her Camilla or whatever?
God.
That's his wife after Diana passed, and then Kate and Meghan. Neither of them are royalty. So it's. I mean, that's how they're just keeping it in the family because after Prince Charles, it'll be Prince Harry or William, and then after him, it'll be their first son, George. So
And she pregnant already again?
who? She already
Kate?
had the baby.
Oh,
This is the third child they had.
Oh, so their
They had two
children
boys,
are
right?
next
They had
in
two boys?
line.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
Yeah,
two boys and one
so
girl.
their children are next in line.
yeah, those two
before-
boys are next in line
That's
before Harry's.
Yeah.
dick.
Every time they have
Harry's
kids,
never gonna.
Yeah.
I don't unless I think I don't know what.
unless someone gets shot up or shit get bombed.
I mean, hopefully that never happens. So he's
Yeah.
never going to be king. That's
That's cool,
I
though.
would beat my nephew's
No,
ass
that's
if he
cool,
really
bro.
thought if he's the king.
well,
and
think
I'm
about
like,
Prince
That's
William.
Scar.
William and Kate.
Ah, that pisses
that's
me off.
Simba and Scar.
Yeah.
William and
literally.
Kate's first son, George, when he gets older and has a kid, his younger brother's not gonna be in line for king. It's
Yeah.
gonna be his. It's gonna
That's
be the
when
great
the beef is going to
grandson.
start.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
now, but
Yeah.
that's when the beef is going to
Yeah.
start. When
But
the
let's
kids
move-
of the kids.
I do want to move on
Okay,
because I
this
love
is-
the royal wedding.
Andy,
talk.
let's talk
It's
about
phenomenal.
Talking about kids.
Speaking of kids, this is gonna get dark.
That was bad.
10 kids were gunned down in Texas.
9 students, 1 teacher.
So
Dead.
9 students, 1 teacher dead. Texas shooting in El Paso,
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Santa
okay.
Fe.
All right.
By a fuck little boy.
Condolences. Yeah, he was 17. And you know, I briefly heard on the news that this kid was too pussy to kill himself, so he decided to go kill other people. He's like he
Yeah.
wanted to kill himself afterwards, but he didn't go through with it because he was too afraid. He couldn't.
He made a statement too, like he's like, I didn't kill anyone that I liked. That's one thing that he said.
Because that
said
makes
what?
it better.
He said, I didn't kill anyone that I liked. That's like what
What
he
the
said.
fuck?
I don't, it was weird, but it was his dad's gun.
Isn't the
that
dude
he-
a Nazi too?
He had Nazi paraphernalia on his jacket and shit like that. All it is.
Is that like the second, maybe the third time this year?
Yeah,
A
Jesus.
fuck little
Christ.
boy.
Yeah, I don't want to stay on this too long because it's just grim.
It is
but
grim,
like
bro.
I
That
feel
shit-
like we should at least tell
It
the
just
listeners.
needs to stop.
Like, what's
I don't-
going on?
We're gonna have some other grim
It's like a
topics too.
trend,
Don't
low-key.
worry, huh?
It seems like a trend. Like these kids are just
Well,
let me
you
shoot
know,
up a school.
someone brought this up about it only being white young teenagers.
I think I said that
Yeah,
about
was
white
that-
males.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. I don't know what it is specifically.
You know what makes me feel old?
What?
This, like the school shootings. Like, I don't know if y'all feel this, but like my little sister's in high school.
Yeah, mine
You know what I
is.
mean?
My brother's
So like
there.
back in the day, if like 9/11 is something like happening, it's like, oh man, my parents are scared for me of like terrorists or attacks or anything. But you know, you're a kid. You're like, oh, I hope it doesn't happen to us.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm not afraid of for me, but my sister's in school, dog. I got like dozens of nephews in school and nieces.
Wow. Yeah.
And this shit's happening everywhere.
That's scary to think
It's
of, bro.
scary.
For real. That's why, like, I mean, the thing is here, you're not stopping something like that. Doesn't matter what type of gun reform you pass. If somebody wants to gun down a bunch of innocent people, they can do it.
It's like the sad part is it's like a trend.
That's what
now.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Well, I think these white kids are seeing this and just like, yeah,
you know what it
I'm
is?
next.
And this is I actually applaud news networks for doing this. A lot of people don't even put out the name of the shooter anymore.
Yeah,
'cause
you
it's
see
just
it more. You have to go out of your way to
find out who the kid is.
And I'm with
because-
that.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Don't
Like,
give them any
let's
satisfaction
not-
or
'cause
gratification.
my thing is just like, God, kill yourself. I don't advocate for anybody to like commit suicide, obviously, but
No,
it's
kill
either-
yourself.
But if it's either suicide or you murdering 10 people, yeah,
Kill
end your
yourself.
life. If you're that miserable in life.
Please end your life.
All right.
We don't need you.
shameless
Yeah, nuts.
transition, I guess. I can't read backwards. I don't know.
so Uber. So recently, the CEO of Uber, she announced that they lifted mandatory arbitration. I'm obviously not too familiar with it, but from my understanding is a lot of corporations do this where instead of going to like a formal court to handle like lawsuits or whatever, it's like kind of a privacy thing where they have like an arbitrator. A lot of times they're like retired judges and they just basically come to an understanding. There's the obvious reasons why that's just so unfair is because it's treated on an individual case. So they don't consider there could be millions of lawsuits against Uber for sexual harassment.
Oh, shit.
It could also be not just like riders, but actual employees of Uber weren't even allowed to, go to court for sexual harassment, like people who might work in corporate Uber or something. So now that it's lifted, people are able to sue Uber for sexual harassment. So that's what the CEO's plan was. And I think a lot of people like Microsoft did that. They didn't have that before. I don't know how long ago they did that. And I think Lyft did the same thing too. So
I kind of like the trend. Well, I definitely like that. I like the trend that a lot of companies are doing now to where they're just like, look, we're going to be transparent in this particular aspect. If somebody treats or sexually assaults somebody, we're going to prosecute them, all that shit, hold them to the highest extent.
Hold them
of the law.
accountable
Yeah, hold them
for
accountable. I mean, I know we talked about the Spotify thing. I think that's a little different from, that's actually not even little. It's a lot different from this. I love what Uber's doing here. I love what Lyft's doing here. Microsoft, as Sumie stated. The Spotify shit, that's another story in itself.
But I like what they're doing there too. I mean,
I would say we should get
somewhat.
into that. I mean, what do you guys
talked about
feel?
it last
I
week.
agree.
I think there's more. I think there's more breaking news on that. So a women's group came out and said, well, did we talk about how the women's group came out and said,
No, that happened earlier this week.
okay, so yeah, so the woman group, so that is new news.
Yeah.
The women's group came out and they're like, all right, we applaud you, Spotify. Now
Oh, yeah.
go after Eminem, go after I forget what other
Chris
artist.
Brown,
Chris
Yeah,
Brown,
Chris Brown
Red Hot
was-
Chili Peppers.
yeah.
There's a bunch
A
more.
lot.
And I think you were going, like we said this last week, it was a slippery slope. You were going down a really big time slippery slope if you
Yeah.
want to do this.
But as we said last week, it's their company.
Sure.
It's their platform.
Sure, but I get that, but it's also like super hypocritical if you're only going to go after like XXX and
It is.
Robert Kelly.
It is. But they can be hypocritical.
I'm not calling him R. Kelly. Fuck that guy. But if you're, I know it's
He's so
hypocritical,
nice.
but I'm saying like, all right, now it's what XXX was talking about. Okay, well, cool. Go after all these people now, and that's what that women's group literally just did the same thing. Like, all right, cool.
they have
And
to?
now it's going to be more.
They don't have to. It's their own company. But if you want to be consistent,
Yeah, you have to. But
And
at the
then-
same time, they might as
So
well.
I don't know. All right. The real question is: are they going to lose followers
Oh, they're going to lose money if they do that shit.
if they
I-
don't do it? And I'm saying if they don't do it.
Oh, no,
if
no,
they-
No,
If they
I
don't have
think
to.
they'll
So they
lose
don't have to.
followers
Yeah.
if they do it, but
Yeah.
not if they don't.
So they don't have to.
and my
do it.
thing is,
but they
the-
got to say something.
But yeah, for me, it's like they strictly did that to see what Apple and Tidal would do. You know what I'm saying with their policies. You know
You
what I'm
did
saying?
it for like a
They did
marketing.
it. They
or
did it
business
for. Like, they're like, all right, so we have this high moral standing now. You guys do the same thing, and Apple ain't doing that.
No, they don't got to.
Apple's not going to do that. Tidal's not going to do that.
Mhm.
So Spotify will look like the good guy in all of this, but I don't necessarily. You're going on a slippery fucking slope when you do
Yeah.
shit like that.
That's
Yeah,
a
I don't
little-
even think they look like the good guy. They just look stupid. They just put themselves
Well,
out
to
there.
rational thinking people, yeah, they look stupid. To people who are just fanatic and want everything to the world, like some people, I've realized this, and it took me a while to realize this. Some people look at the world for what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody in this room looks at the world for what it is. There's some bad things that are going to happen in the world. There's some people who do some shady shit.
Okay.
It is what it is. You're not ever going to get rid of that or stop that from happening. But these people are hell bent on making the world perfect.
I mean, you get rid of all the bad. How do you know what good really is at
Absolutely,
the end of the day?
because
You
you're
have to have-
chasing. It's like the dog chasing a car. You know what I'm saying? And they're constantly trying to find.
But all right, how about this? I was trying to think of a comparison. All right, let's think of a superhero. Superman or Batman?
Batman, because he's a
Batman.
real nigga.
Okay,
Batman.
Okay, let's start with the Dark Knight.
Okay.
Him stopping 5 burglars, robbers, murders, rapists. Only 5, right? In a day. Rather than, and there's like 20 in a day. Are you mad at him for not stopping all 20? Or at least knocking out those 5?
He's taking his
Wow,
stand.
Bashir, that was actually
That
really
was pretty
good.
good.
I do.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm happy that he knocked out the 5.
So R. Kelly and XX.
Sure. But all right. So I think my only problem with that is that like,
They can knock out the others easily.
yeah, they can
Like,
easily do
Batman
that. Like,
can't
and
physically.
Batman has no powers to like
But
actually.
they're okay.
They like now if you use Superman, that would have been a little bit better of an
Okay.
example because he has superpowers. He can do that.
Okay.
But like with Spotify, my thing
But
is
that's what I'm
it's like,
saying. Like if
you're
they're at
going
least doing
well,
some.
no. And my thing is, you're insinuating that it's only that woman's group went after all men. If you look down the line, you can find really bad lyrics that women have against men too.
Hold on, is it a lyric thing?
Yeah, it's literally like they were going after some people for lyrics.
See, that
Like
is
the
to
Eminem
me-
thing is like that's a lyric thing. That's not.
kind of pushing
Eminem's
it.
all the way out of here.
Yeah, like yo,
No.
He said stuck a Tonka truck
they could
inside
get,
of.
they
me-
can literally get Eminem. They could get all of Odd Future. They can get
all of
all
Odd
of the ASAP Mob. They can get all of Wu Tang. They can get all of rap.
I
don't even know. I'm just naming them. Like
I
they could
compare
literally get
it-
all the rap.
I
Like,
compare it to like I think personally that doesn't affect me, but something like Kevin Spacey asking him like not bringing him back to House of Cards,
Yeah.
that is different because he's ongoing in a
And-
show and they took him off. But like,
And- yeah.
are you like for me? I'm like, okay, so you're going to completely remove House of Cards. How is that fair to
Well,
the
I don't
entire?
think they did.
Right,
Oh, okay,
but if
yeah.
they did, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be unfair to
Right,
everybody
it would be
else.
unfair to everybody
That's
else.
why- that's
Like
how
now
I-
the Cosby Show's back on,
Okay, yeah, that's how I felt about the Cosby Show. I'm like, that's unfair to all the other people who worked on that show.
and who got their breaking
Question.
like.
Yeah.
So House of Cards is still on?
yeah,
It's on Netflix, right?
it's
but
still
like,
on. They
Overall,
just-
it's
they
gonna be
just-
centered around
I think
the-
they just
his
killed
wife.
off
Yeah,
his
Robin.
character.
Yeah, it's gonna be centered around Robin.
yeah.
I haven't watched it.
All right, but okay. I'm trying to think of this happening and like radio.
Wow. Okay.
You know,
I think
because
I know
remember
where
that
you're going.
remember that one video that lady crying because whose song
Britney?
was it?
Leave Britney alone.
No.
Yeah, I saw it.
She was listening
it
to-
was Vince Staples.
Oh, Vince Staples'
yeah,
song. Yeah. This song can go.
Yeah,
on
she was
my
like, I
face.
can't believe you're listening to this.
Yeah, and her kid was in the car and it was on the radio.
Yeah.
And she made a video like, I can't believe you're playing this while like crying and whatnot.
Yeah.
About what lyric in that song?
Just
Everything.
the whole song.
Yeah, the whole start. Listen to the song.
Yeah.
But so them not picking. So radio gets to pick who they can put on
Yeah.
and whatnot. Is it just because Spotify's
I mean, there's a lot of business behind
There's
that.
politics into it.
Yeah, I
There's a lot.
mean, with Spotify, it's a little different. But I will say there are radio stations who don't play Robert Kelly anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for that. They took a moral stance against a fucking pedophile. Fuck that guy.
no one's
So-
getting mad at that radio station for playing.
But my
NSYNC.
thing,
Well, what happened with NSYNC?
I don't know, man. They probably did something. My bad. I meant Backstreet Boys because
Oh,
I saw
Backstreet-
Backstreet Boys.
No, but-
Nick Carter.
but
Nick
Yeah,
Carter.
he did some
but
shit.
that's
yeah.
similar to like. Here's the thing: you can't
Like,
censor
what, Lance is
everything.
gay? They're not gonna play his music.
My bad. That's like cool.
You can't censor your child from everything in the world. Like, remember when? Oh my god! And why is it escaping me? The football player who got drafted, the gay football. What's his name again?
Michael Sam.
Yeah, Michael Sam. When he kissed his, remember during the
yeah.
draft, and everyone was like, "I'm not, homophobic or anything," but like
So,
that's not something
I
I
don't
want my
know.
child.
Hey,
And
see,
it's
I-
like,
I'm gonna be
guys
honest.
Well, if you
I'm gonna
don't
be honest. You're
care.
homophobic.
yeah, if you don't care, but that's what I mean. So they were like, "Why would you like broadcast that? Like, you probably shouldn't have even shown it." But it's like, okay, but there's a lot of commercials where like you see a sex scene pop up in a trailer, and your kid probably saw that.
Or even a better example, how about all the football players who kiss their girlfriends right before they walk up to shake the commissioner's
Yeah.
hand?
Yeah,
Was he good?
No, he's trash.
No.
He sucked.
I
it
gotta-
was
all
just
right,
more
Literally and
Hey,
figuratively.
This is a future thing I'm thinking about. So they're allowing guys to become cheerleaders. I said this before in the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
Do you think some shit's about to go down?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Guys can
Trying
try
out
out
for-
to become.
Why can't they?
I
should
thought
be
they
able to
always
try.
were cheerleaders.
No, they were in
College. They
college.
were. Oh, so you're talking
but
about the
not in
pros?
NFL. Actually, yeah, in the NFL they're
Like
not.
actually doing the routines or just
Yes.
like holding the girls up?
Either or.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
They
Fuck it.
showed
don't
when
give
I
a
saw
fuck.
it, there was a guy actually doing routines.
That's cool.
I mean,
You know?
is he
That's
wearing
fine
like
as
a skirt
long
and
as
shit,
his
or-
attire
Yeah.
is
He has a
like.
skirt.
I mean, that's what I saw.
Oh, he had a skirt on?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't give a shit. I'm watching the game anyway.
So, do you think shit's gonna go down? Because we
There's
saw
going to be people who are going to.
I think if they, depending on what they wear, because like in college football, they wear long pants.
Yep.
They don't wear like skirts.
Yeah.
But I think if they
They're
allow
usually
them to
there for,
wear
like, spot,
skirts
yeah.
or even Spanx, because that's like the outline of a crotch that you're seeing on TV.
Spanx.
That's where it's probably going to get like.
Yeah, but still,
But
I
then
mean,
you're
like,
gonna
even
have
the
it-
girls, like when their skirts go up when they're jumping up in the air, you could.
Right, but they're
Nigga, look
but
at
they're
the-
wearing like a skirt, so it's like an attached underwear or
okay.
Spanx.
That shit is still tight. You know, we watching the
It
games
is,
and be
but-
like, "Damn, did you see that one?"
Yeah, I'm
Right,
like,
right, right.
whew.
But there's a difference
She
between
pretty.
that and then like a crotch outline.
I'm saying
that's true.
I
There's
just,
a
I
huge
just didn't know what
difference.
they're wearing. It's not really.
So that's
an
the
issue.
problem. It's like the
Yeah.
clothes for you.
I don't even care about because my
Like,
thing
they
is
keep
like
you
if I'm
rocking
watching a
skirts.
football game, the last thing I'm looking at are the cheerleaders.
True,
bro.
that's very true.
Because
as
my
well.
thing is I only watch football games of teams that I care. Like I'm not even an NFL guy like that. For real, I play for fantasy.
Speaking of the
So,
NFL,
like,
Michigan State and Nancy.
well, it's college, but sure.
That's college, bro.
Yeah. I tried to do the Curtis thing. Yeah. Oh shit, that was the other way around. I was supposed to say. Speaking of Michigan State,
Yeah.
damn,
Nice try.
Larry
we're missing.
Nasser.
Terrible transition.
I tried.
Terrible.
Yo, Larry Nasser, you piece of shit. Fuck you and your life.
All right, so
so that's that. Michigan State, you guys are actually pieces of shits because you still have Tom Izzo as a basketball coach. You still have what's his face, Mark D'Antoni as a football coach, and they let players are running trains on bitches when they did not want trains.
Alpha.
I'm just saying.
Alpha,
On a
if you're going to
positive
say
light, hold
that,
on,
do
hold
not
on.
say bitches.
It's fine,
Women,
it's fine.
God damn
Running
it.
trains.
In a positive
Look,
light,
at least
in a positive
at least
light,
I'm defending them.
in a
Sorry.
positive light,
Yeah.
the victims they got paid out
Good.
500.
They should get more.
Mil.
They should definitely get more.
Settlement.
But you know,
Settlement.
there's
They
a
should
little
definitely get more.
bit into that though. Michigan State's going to raise tuition to help pay for that.
Damn, for real?
So yeah.
That is so
That's
fucked.
awful.
So,
That is so
yeah, they're
fucked.
pieces of shit. I don't give a fuck. Like they need to fire that football coach, fire that basketball coach. And
Speak your shit.
They should have those girls on like a retainer for the rest of their lives.
Hell yeah, that's way better
Like
than
fuck,
a 500.
fuck the mill. I
Yeah.
want.
I don't want to pay.
Like, give them $100K a year.
I mean, they probably could do that with this.
I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the
But-
day, though, I just don't think there's going to be enough money for
Also,
them.
one of the
Or
survivors.
$50K a year. Let's be reasonable.
You say one of the survivors?
One of the survivors.
One of the victims. Just say victims.
No, one of the
Survivors.
sexual assault survivors.
Okay.
They survived this shit. They went through
They're
a lot and they
survivors.
survived it. They're gonna
Cue
receive
up
the
Destiny's Child Survivor.
yeah. I'm a survivor. They're gonna receive the Arthur Ashe Award on the ESPYs.
All
Oh,
of
yeah.
One of them, I think.
One of
Why
them.
one?
No, all of them. All of
No,
them.
I
All of
think
them
it's
survivors,
a
all of them. Yeah,
collective.
it's
So what? All
It's-
200 of the bitches are women that he raped.
Come on, man.
Alpha, I will literally slap you silly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not even like it's
It's 200 girls.
I'm getting better.
200 girls.
No, you
Definitely
are
gonna be on-
absolutely
Yo,
not.
that's
Yeah, I'm
horrible.
trying. At least-
So
at
how
least I'm
many
making the
girls
effort.
is it?
200 girls and a quote that says, "They have shown us all what it truly means to speak truth to power, and through their bravery, they are making
Did you say
change."
bravery?
I said bravery. I said bravery. Shit, man, I tried. Hold on, my. They are making change for a future
You get a
generation.
lot of your news from
Shut
the
up,
shade
nigga.
room.
By honoring,
Alpha,
really
you're
do.
done. You're your quota.
Hey, cut
All
the
right.
alcohol. I'm gonna stop drinking.
All right. By honoring this group who spoke out, we aim to honor all of those who are survivors of abuse. Round of applause to the survivors.
No,
I
Driss,
give
you're
you
done
a-
with the soundboard. No.
What? I've been trying not to fucking
No.
hit it.
Anyway, so I think that's cool.
Oh,
I think that
shit.
definitely is. I think that's necessary.
My nigga,
to
shade
some
room
degree.
is really this nigga CNN. That is so funny.
Low key it is. Yes, I see a lot.
I don't
on
think
there.
I've ever like gone through that like site. Is it dope? Like, is it mad informative?
It is. It's better than like the bullshit on Instagram. that
They
you
actually
see.
like bring out breaking news and stuff. They
Okay,
actually,
I mean,
yeah.
I just don't.
They
follow
highlight.
it.
They
Yeah.
highlight a lot of good things that are happening that you don't see. Like, what's it called? Diddy. He bought a painting for 21. Excuse me.
Is that a good thing?
$21 million, and it's the highest paid black or painting by a black artist.
That's crazy.
So wait. Oh, the artist is black.
Artist is black,
Okay.
and it was the highest paying for that.
So
artist.
that's no black artist has ever sold a painting
There
that
we go.
high.
Yeah,
Huh,
and Diddy
that's
bought
it.
that
That's
painting.
dope.
Speaking of
And
Diddy
they showed me that.
and the good things that he does, did you guys see on Mother's Day? He shouted out each of his baby mamas and all the kids that he's had with them, and
How many
said, thanks
kids
for
does he
being
have?
such a great
What is it?
mom. God, I don't
Bro, that whole
know.
Cassie thing is kind
he
of
has like
like
6 kids.
Isn't
Kinda
it just
weird.
an
More
open
than that.
relationship?
Why is it weird?
Because like that's low key. Was he eyeing her when he signed her
Yeah.
Probably look at her.
when she was young?
How young was she? How old is she now?
Wasn't she 16
She was
or
16 when-
16?
me and
when he-
you?
That was like
Was she
17,
16?
maybe it's like 17
really young,
or
I
something.
Can we look her age up? Let's not.
Yeah, I don't want to
speculate.
start this.
I
Yeah.
thought she was over 18.
I thought she
when that
was
song
like
dropped.
21.
I thought
Maybe.
she
Yeah.
was super
Holy
young.
shit!
Also,
She's
I wanna,
beautiful though.
Also,
Yeah.
I want to comment on the fact that he has such a good relationship with all three of his baby
She's
mamas.
31.
She's 31.
She was
so
born in
me-
86.
Oh, never mind. She probably
So
good.
when me and you dropped, she was 20.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's
She was of
all
age.
right.
Okay, never mind.
Never mind.
Go,
Anyway.
go get your shit because she's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, no, she
Go
is-
ahead,
she-
Diddy.
Jesus Christ!
God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah. She
And
was
his
good.
his son making good music out here, I believe.
Which one?
King Combs?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't listen to his music.
I heard.
He
I heard
tries to
some
sound
shit
like
about it.
Diddy. He tries to sound like.
Oh no,
Diddy.
yeah, he made a song that sounded exactly like Diddy, which was fire.
Yeah, he sounded like
like
Diddy.
Biggie Diddy age.
Oh my
Anyway.
god.
R.I.P. to my nigga, Big
Alright, speaking of Israel and Palestine, that better. That was better.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Alpha, I feel like you know a lot about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give
Oh,
us
yeah,
the
we were talking
rundown.
Yeah.
Give us the
Okay,
rundown.
so like I know on this podcast from time to time I've taken shots at religion. I don't.
Time to time, my nigga.
No, well, here's the thing. I actually admire people who are religious because I think there's a certain amount of discipline that goes into it. And I think religion's brought a lot of great things to the world. Like our value systems are based off of religion. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
True.
a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Now, I don't necessarily think we need it today, but it did form our morals and our value system and our ethical system that we have now. So I think that's a good thing. But so particularly did you guys want the history of Israel and Palestine?
I
or
think
like,
you should shed
a
a,
quick-
little
a
bit
quick,
of
Okay,
recap.
so this is like something that's been going on. It's not like 1,000-year thing. This is literally the turn of the century is when this kind of started. Particularly, it's been 70 years, so it's not even that long. But okay, basically, Great Britain had control of Palestine, and then there's the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire collapsed after World War I. So that it was complete and utter chaos. Britain didn't know what they wanted to do with Palestine, so they promised European Jews that you can have that land because European Jews wanted to go back to their homeland. There was a bunch of nationalism that was going on during the early 1900s.
Okay.
They wanted to go back to their homeland, Zionism, and the Brits also promised Palestine that they could have their own state.
So the Brits are fucking up right
Yeah,
now.
the Brits. The British, the Balfour Accords is what it was between European Jews and Great Britain. They promised Palestine their own land too, so you can already see where that's going to happen. So World War II happens. Obviously, all those 6 million Jews get eradicated. So the rest of those Jews are just like, you know what? We need our own state because we're getting killed everywhere
they
else.
murked everybody.
Yeah, and then Jewish people have been killed all throughout history like that.
Yeah, that's not new.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's horrible. So 1948 comes, all of them flood. Israel is created, I think, in 47. 1948 comes, Israel and Palestine and the Arab states surrounding it go to war. Israel wins. They get more land. 20 years later is another war in 67, or 19 years later is another war. The 6-Day War in 1967. Israel wins again. They
Ended in 6 days.
Yeah, it was 6-Day War. Yeah.
Cool.
And they acquire more land. I know I'm
So Israel right now is bodying them.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
bodying, but they actually gave the Palestinians a little bit more land. Then they're still
Recently,
going,
right?
well, no, not
Not
recently,
recent.
as in like
Most
the
recent.
60s and 70s. They gave them a little bit more land after the war. Then more. I'm sorry, guys, for boring you with the history lesson,
Nah,
but
I
I gotta
like
give it. I gotta give it
It's
so we
helpful.
get
You
some
have to.
context. We're speeding through it. There was the Oslo Accords in the 90s where you had Yasser Arafat, who first off was a billionaire who took UN money, who took money from the UN to gain up more money.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Why do you even give him money?
For aid because Palestine, because
And he'd use that money
the
for
PLO didn't know how to run Gaza. They have a little bit of area in the Gaza Strip
Strip.
that they run, and it's a hellhole there. So, but he died in there was infantadas that happened in 89 and in 2000. In 2000, I think 1,000 Israelis died or Jewish people died. 3,000 Palestinians died.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like this has been going rough. This is all within 70 years, which is why it's kind of fascinating because most people think it's like 1,000 years. It goes back from years.
It's like, no, it's real
all
recent, my
relevant.
nigga.
Yeah, and I know I'm speeding through all this to get to this. So now this week we hear about and this is where you guys can actually chime in and or give your opinions. We find out that I think it was 50 or 60 Palestinians were murdered.
Figure that out real quick.
Oh my God.
Now, we found out that a lot of those people were Hamas members. I didn't touch on Hamas. Hamas is like a terrorist organization.
But civilian casualties were also.
Yeah, there's little kids who have been killed. And like this is both sides should be, kind of taken to shed for how they've treated one another. They like the Israelis, I'm not gonna lie, it's an apartheid state there. Like Palestinians can't get driver's license or proper ID. They can't vote in the elections. In Gaza, it's hell over there. You have Jewish people coming in and putting settlements in places that in the West Bank that under UN law, it's illegal. So they're not allowed to be there, but they're still developing houses and it's beautiful there too. Like if you looked at some of the settlements in the West Bank right now, it looks like a fucking New Jersey suburb. Like it's really nice. Yeah. So, but yeah, both sides are at blame. It's a clusterfuck, and basically all of this happened because of the movement of the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And yeah, I don't know. I think a bunch of U.S. presidents, they always acknowledge that Jerusalem was the capital of Israel, but they never actually moved the embassy because they knew violence would happen, and that's what happened.
That actually happened recently.
Yeah.
And so did you hit on the march they had like recently with the six people that died?
I mean, yeah, they were up near the Gaza Strip. I mean, these cops are fucking, or not cops, these
let's actually get into like what actually happened.
Yeah, so
recently.
they were approaching the border of the
protest march.
Sure.
Palestine.
And it was Hamas who ordered 40,000 people. Well, didn't order, but they wanted 40,000 people to approach the border of Gaza. And like they were burning tires and all of that shit. But like you had these Israeli soldiers who were gunning down people from 200 yards
that were
out.
just standing out.
Yeah,
by
sure.
Gaza.
And a lot of them were Hamas members. I'm not gonna lie. Like even Hamas came out and said that a lot of them were our guys, but they killed innocent people too. And these Israeli soldiers have killed journalists. They've killed people running away from the border, and they'll just gun them down. There's a video of a guy like laughing at the fact that he's killing innocent Palestinians. This is a Israeli soldier. So
they're not just like shooting just the Hamas people. They're like, I see you.
They've killed innocent
I see you
people
on the other side. I'm gunning you down.
Yeah, I mean, they've killed innocent people. They've jailed. There was like a story of them jailing this like 16-year-old girl who was like, fuck Israel, yada, 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 and they jailed her. So like, yeah, I'm not pro-Israel or pro-Palestine. I think they're both kind of just fucking doing some foul shit.
You touch on the priest.
Joe, this is wild. So there was a priest who fucking was giving a sermon, I guess.
Wait, where was this at?
Well, this was during the when they were
ceremony.
During the ceremony.
So Trump, did you hit on Trump like
moving the embassy? Yeah.
Okay, but like, all right. And this guy, didn't he ask for this dude to come through?
I don't know who asked for who, but like this guy said a bunch of anti-Semitic things throughout his life.
Okay,
and he's there giving like
ironic or
Christians. A lot of Christians want are pro-Israel because they believe that Jesus will come back and that's where he's going to go, right? That land, Jerusalem. So that's the only reason why they're pro-Israel. Outside of that, they can be severely anti-Semitic.
Like this guy's quoted on tweets of being like, quickly.
And that's my thing is I understand the Jewish people's need to want a state.
Yeah, I mean,
you look at your history. Yeah, you're getting slaughtered left and right. I would want.
I get it from the Jews, where they're just saying like, I don't give a fuck who's speaking, who's our commencement speaker. I don't care as long as we get this shit.
My thing is most Jewish. I think they did some polling on this. I don't think Jewish people even care that the embassy's moving. Like, I just don't understand the point of moving the embassy. I think you're doing
starting shit.
Sure. I just don't understand the point of it. Yeah, just to start shit. Essentially. You knew, well, that's the reason why every other president has acknowledged or said that, hey, I believe that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. Cool, whatever. But they didn't move the embassy.
Are the other embassies in Jerusalem though?
Huh?
Like for the other embassies around the world?
I don't know. I mean, but like where Israel, I don't know about that. That's a good question.
So you said they didn't move it because they knew the violence.
They knew that violence would occur. So that's why they didn't do it. Yeah, he's just like, oh, I don't care. I'm going to do it because he's just doing shit to rile up his base, and it's like
It's just
yo,
tragic.
dog, I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for, but like that to me,
They're just
why
advising
do
in
that?
a very indirect way.
My thing is like, why move the fucking embassy when you know that's gonna happen?
I'm not even gonna say his name. I probably did already. But him and Tyler Hansborough, I want to snuff those people.
Tyler
Why
Hansborough,
Tyler
what's up,
Hansborough?
I just don't like that dude's face, and I don't like that dude's face. I swear to God, the dude that I'm not gonna name because he's a fucking bitch. If I saw him, would you
talking
just
about
give him a
Don-
quick snuff?
Are you
Just
talking
like,
about Donald Trump?
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't say that over the airways.
I'll give that nigga a quick snuff. Don't let me see him.
Well,
Airways, come get me. My name's Mohammed.
No. It's just tragic how
shit.
many
Nah,
casualties civilian casualties are involved.
Huh?
Niggas
It's
is
tragic
dying.
just how many innocent people are
Yeah,
involved.
when you
It's
hear
just-
about like little kids dying and shit, like
Like-
getting arrested. I'm not gonna sit here and act like Palestine is innocent in this though. Hamas is like they are shitty at running a fucking that 50. I think 51% of the PLO is Palestinian Liberation Organization is made up of current or former members of Hamas. They can't run like their people are starving. They done like Yasser Arafat again would steal aid from the UN and steal the money from the UN that the UN was giving him and would just enrich himself with that. So
sounds
it's not
like
like these
some
were
African
great.
shit.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like these are good human beings. And his wife lived in exile in France. And I guarantee you when he died in 2005, she gladly took that money.
Oh, for
So
sure.
like, yeah, it's not like Palestine has been innocent in this either. That's why I'm literally just like, yo, both
Y'all
sides are
both-
fucked.
Yeah, y'all both. Yo, I was cooked the other night, right? And
You were cooking?
no, I was cooked. My
Oh.
brain was.
so you
And
were- okay.
it was literally the other day.
Kids,
it was
this
this,
is your kids, this is your brain on drugs.
yeah. But so much shit happening recently. And we go back to like our last podcast when we were talking about This Is America, and we see, or Childish Gambino throws out the apocalypse happening with the rider on the white horse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
The Grim
yeah.
Reaper.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why so much shit is happening. And literally we got another school shooting. Israel, Palestine. I mean,
Yeah.
mad shit's happening overseas that we don't even know.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
the volcano erupted
Wow, we
in
didn't talk about that, yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
And like took over like feet, like over houses and whatnot.
Yeah.
Slavery in Libya.
Slavery in Libya.
We didn't even talk about
There
that.
was a
Sex trafficking
Chris
still.
told me the other
Yeah.
day there was this mom
Here.
that
Yeah,
killed
here.
her son.
Wait,
New York.
What
Oh yeah, I heard that story.
What was
So
that?
what was
Yeah,
that story?
The mom's killed her son in
Yeah,
New York
same.
because was it a custody thing? Like if I can't have him, no one can.
What?
So
Yeah.
she had like a mental illness.
So she jumped off a building with her son.
yeah.
How old was the
Suicide.
kid?
Like seven?
Oh my god.
The post you shot, you
can we
showed the
spot-
other day.
Yeah, I want to talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
you.
Dead
Like,
body.
Okay. Yeah. There's a suicide over at my job downtown in Nationwide.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This
So
was literally like yesterday, right?
this is yesterday. So I was just coming back from lunch and I just see a crowd of people just like staring out the window and I just see like an ambulance. I was like, so what's going on? And I look over and I see a tarp and then I was just like, what is that? And they're like, oh, that's a body. And I guess somebody went on top of the Chestnut garage and just jumped off. There was no motive. Like nobody knows the reason. Nobody knows if he was actually like a Nationwide employee. All
They
we
haven't
know-
released his name yet.
No, all we know is that he's a white male. So
You were very classy on that post to post after like respects to the family
Yeah.
and whatnot. But right when I seen that, bro, that was the overload. Like actually, shit, I'm not gonna say that. It was the
So-
overload where it was
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
I'm seeing way too much. Literally, Driss was like the cherry on top.
Cherry on top.
Like, damn, this shit's happening 15 minutes away from me.
Christ.
Another person's dead.
you don't know.
But-
oh,
Oh, no. Well, I just like speaking, like you said, the apocalypse. What's so crazy to me is like, okay, natural disasters, we can do nothing for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that is
with-
literally
with-
out of our
with
hands.
the
right.
volcanoes.
But just all of the violence and, ongoing political wars and religious wars, like that is just something like we already have this world that's getting destroyed. Not
Yeah.
even just from like the
some
environmental
us.
changes.
Us,
yeah.
yeah.
Forces of nature.
And if it's not, I'm sorry, I'm not to cut you off, but like in religion wise, all around religions, usually a bunch of bad shit happens
Before the apocalypse.
Before
Yeah.
the apocalypse
Yeah.
happens.
yeah.
And all like pretty much right, Christianity,
Yeah. Wait,
Judaism
so
is
yeah, I mean, they all have the apocalypse happening in
Mm-hmm.
all those religions, I believe.
Crazy how similar these religions
know-
are.
I know.
Wow.
right?
I was gonna tie this back to the Gambino video. So you
Well,
know
hold on, Driss. I had a question for you. What did you have for lunch?
why?
I was curious.
what is going
What
on
the
right
heck?
here?
What?
What's going?
Are you high?
I wanted to know what you had for lunch.
I actually had chicken and waffles.
From
I'm lost.
so
I
the
had brunch.
Gambino video.
What the fuck just happened?
I really want to know what he was eating, bro.
Okay, Alpha. Like I said, you hit your goal.
Chicken waffles from Bodega was pretty
Uh,
good.
Bodega
yeah.
inspired.
Well,
Yeah.
no, not today. Like yesterday for lunch. Before,
Oh.
yeah, that's what
okay,
I was
okay,
asking.
okay.
Makes more
So-
sense now.
All right,
Yeah, I
I
was
got a
like, what
funny
are you
story.
You need to
So
clarify
first of all,
that.
yeah.
All right, so
moron.
yesterday I was coming. I didn't even have lunch yesterday.
But
So I left work because I had to take a shit. And I don't feel comfortable
doesn't
shitting in
poop in
public
public.
bathrooms. So I drove all the way here.
I literally did.
Yo, and there's construction all
Yeah.
around, so you got to loop around, bro.
Damn, was your booty bubbling?
Yeah, bro.
Oh man,
That was like
I
the
just get a
best shit.
text that goes, "That was beautiful."
Yeah, then I'm walking back, headphones with a nice little strut, you know.
Yeah, clear body, clear mind.
Suicide. Yeah. And it's just-
Damn.
Damn.
Damn. So the Gambino video.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, you know how the message of the Gambino video is like all this shit is going on, but we're all distracted. So all of this shit is going on this past week, and the royal wedding.
Takes over
Wow.
everything.
Holy
We
shit.
started with it.
Yo, but you know what? That's a phenomenal point because literally the Texas school shooting was yesterday. That should be on everybody's mind.
I mean, it is, but
Yeah.
you have to understand though that you can't. But that I'll argue to this. You cannot just stop living. The royal wedding was planned months in advance.
That's true.
That's
It's
true.
That is
not
a
like
good
they
point.
decided, oh, we'll make it, around the time of the
Yeah.
school shooting. You have to.
That is
That's
true.
just people understanding that.
That's a good point.
The life goes on. Unfortunately, there have been so many shootings. How do you plan a wedding around it?
We are really
Yeah.
desensitized though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
this school shooting,
We are.
nothing.
Real shit.
Like from not from like I saw it on obviously like Shade Room and shit, but from like other people.
Shade room.
You know?
Shade Room,
I know
yo.
that, but like no,
Holy
from other
shit.
people. Like
There should be a staff
first-
writer on there.
Yo, give me. I want my bag. I'm trying to get that bag, Shade. Nah, but like other people. You know how when like a school shooting or something happens, people are like, I hope all these kids and these families are okay. Nothing. Nobody. No public
Did you
figure,
see that at
nothing.
all? Like on like
I saw one post.
I saw a lot of celebs posting about it.
Yeah, I saw
maybe it's
one
because I
post
follow
about
a
it.
lot, but I
yeah,
saw a good
I
amount
really
of.
don't follow it.
But you know what's so sad? Actually, I don't know where my rings are. You know what's really sad is I think what's crazy about it. Damn it! I think I just lost my train of thought. Shit. Damn, I'm actually.
nigga's calling again. Boy, I ain't answering your call, you bitch ass nigga.
I'm actually so mad. I had
Sorry.
a good point
He
to
ain't
make.
getting his money.
Oh, this is what I was gonna say. What's so sad is like, the royal wedding, any big gathering, I get kind of scared to go to like a
Same.
concert or something.
Goodness.
Like, and that was never a fear that was instilled in me until like the Batman shooting, like the shooting at the Batman movie. Like ever since then, I remember
You get paranoid.
Like you get paranoid, and like when I go to
No, actually,
I thought
ever
about that.
festivals.
Yeah, no, I thought about that for the royal wedding today. I was like, damn, what if
Yes.
there was
I did
a
the same
terrorist
thing.
attack?
because
Some shit
she
like
was
that.
a black mixed
yeah.
girl
Yeah, what if there
marrying
was,
into
what if there was like a
yeah.
white nationalist who's like, I
I-
can't have this in my. Yeah, you never know,
Not
bro.
in England.
I'm kind of sick in my head. I always do that for any big event.
Yeah.
Coachella, when Beyonce was performing,
Oh,
I was
my
like,
God.
please don't. You know what stems from too? That Batman movie with a Bane. When they blew
Dark
up
Knight
the
Rises?
field.
Oh yeah.
And Palo was running and they blew up the field. I was like,
I
was like,
Can we
yo,
shout out
just
that
quit
movie? By the way, that
action-
movie was fire.
I want to say that might be better than like
Yeah.
the 08 Batman. What was that? The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Only reason here's the thing. Heath Ledger was amazing in that. Like he stole the show. He was amazing. But I'm saying like movie from movie. I think I like the one with Bane a little. Well, I just fuck with Tom.
Nah, the
Hardy.
Bane was a lot better because
I'll fuck with
no,
Tom
no.
Hardy though.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's my nigga.
I'll fuck.
I
with
don't.
Tom.
But
Speaking
I
of,
think
he
you're.
looked clean, all bald.
Yeah.
He was at the royal wedding.
Oh, he
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Like a G, my nigga. Everyone was singing.
Is he?
Like,
Is he British?
He's English.
Oh, I didn't know.
Everyone-
That's my fucking.
Bro, why don't you watch Peaky Blinders? I told you to watch Peaky Blinders. It's a great show and he kills it in it. Anywho,
Okay.
during the royal wedding, everyone was like reading the prayer or whatever while everyone reads the prayer and
Yeah.
looking down. This nigga's like, blah, 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 blah. But he's like actually G or OG.
He's
I fuck-
singing.
Yeah. But with like with
He's
a
singing
killer
with a
mindset
mug?
in his eye. Like, I'm gonna sing this to you.
That nigga's a cold hard killer. I
Cold
fuck
hard.
with
God.
Tom.
No, I think with the Dark
God.
Knight though,
Damn.
oh god, Alpha spit all over his mic, and it was
Fuck, that shit's not
disgusting.
going anywhere.
and pause
That
for
shit-
spitting all over.
I know.
our
He's
mic.
this nigga's rubbing
No,
the
I
tip of
think-
it. Yo, get the fuck out of here. Get out.
You're done.
You're done.
yeah.
No, I think with the one with Joker, like with Heath Ledger, it was focused on him. That's the thing. But Dark Knight Rises came full circle from when Batman was. Remember what was his name?
Raghul.
Raghul.
It came full circle because you understood his daughter.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
the
you
little
know what I
cave
mean?
jumping shit.
Yeah, you
that shit was
understood.
such a better movie.
Well, because you
bro.
thought that was Bane
Yeah,
the whole time.
I thought the one with Bane was better than
Because it had a
We thought it was
storyline.
Bane the whole time.
The
and
daughter
it was actually Bane that.
threw her.
her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because you thought the child was Bane,
Yep.
but it was the daughter.
And the girl, when she stabbed him, dog, I was lost.
And he was sleeping with her.
I was lost. Were you shook? Were you
Batman
shook when he
was
stabbed
sleeping?
him?
Yeah, I was
shook.
Batman was sleeping with her.
I just honestly God think that was just like one of the best trilogies
Yeah,
of all time.
hands
Like,
down.
That's why when you talk about like Marvel versus DC, the only reason DC has a staple is because of that shit.
Yeah. I will
Yeah.
say I
You know?
was
Yeah.
more of a DC fan than Marvel because of the superheroes.
Yeah.
I just think Marvel has better movies.
That's-
But Batman has the best hands down movies.
Facts.
But
So
anyway,
I wanted to talk about this though real quick because I know we brought up the royal wedding a few times, and I was just wondering, like, are we as a culture too obsessed with celebrity or no?
when
Like,
have we
we
never
are.
been though?
We have.
Yeah.
And we are.
Well, no,
We're
no,
just
no.
more
I mean,
accessible now.
I think it's more. Yeah, it's way more accessible. But I'm saying, like, is it as it reached its like apex? You
I
know what
gotta
I'm
get
saying?
one
To
for you.
where like, huh?
So Sumie was talking about like the people who got invited to the royal wedding.
Yeah.
I think in America, celebrities are viewed as royalty.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
they're-
like
We put them on that pedestal.
Well, maybe that's just here because I don't know how it would be. in
no,
other
I mean
countries.
when we went to India, like people like there were still like oh my god, what's the guy's name who
Tom Hardy.
no
Liam Neeson.
Shout out my
he's not he's like
Idris
a
Elba.
Bruce Lee. Oh, don't even get me started.
Bruce Lee?
He is like a Bruce
Why
Lee
does Sumie
figure.
come every time the nigga says his name? Every time niggas be like,
Who
Idris
doesn't?
Elba. She,
A lot of girls do though.
no.
It's honestly just like a reflex.
A lot
I
of girls
can't
like Idris
stop
Elba.
it.
I fuck with Idris Elba. I think he's a good
Stop.
actor.
So you come in every time you say his name?
No, I'm
Okay,
saying
go ahead,
I
Sumie,
fuck
what
with
you
His
him. I
talking
dick
think he's-
shrinks a little bit every time you say his name because he's like, God damn
I
it.
feel it, bro.
Anyway, no, they do because you know that Indian actress that I love, her Priyanka Chopra. She's the star of Quantico.
Oh, she's bad.
She's-
Yeah,
so bad.
like she grew up in Bollywood, which is India's Hollywood, and like all she did was talk about like we grew up in like Jackie Chan movies and all this. Like they are equally as obsessed, but we just
Okay.
have I think us and like England musicians and actors, like a lot of them now are doing TV shows that are more popular here. Like Shameless was a British TV show.
yeah.
But I think it's always been relevant. I think they're equally as obsessed. It's just we just have Hollywood. We
Yeah,
have Hollywood.
and we're more accessible to celebrities in general. Like if you go back to like the 1500s, I think it's just a different type of celebrity.
Yeah.
So like you go back to like not even the 1500s. Let's go back to like the 1700s, the 1800s. The celebrities were like war generals, and like George Washington was a celebrity because he was a famous general,
Right.
and it turned into him being the president.
Yeah.
So everybody knew who he was. Everybody wanted to be George Washington or like fuck George Washington, whatever.
Okay.
But because he led the American rep, he was
Celebrity.
yeah. So that's another form of celebrity. He's just
athletes.
Yeah.
Like people
Athletes,
are
sure.
looking up to
I
athletes.
think it's just a little like it's different now. I don't want to say I think it's worse in the sense that like
We're
actually I don't even know if it's worse.
you
It's
can't.
just, I
It's hard to
can't-
glorify war leaders nowadays.
Yeah,
it's hard to
well,
like find.
That's because they all do horribly
up
shit.
shit. Yeah.
Horrible shit. I mean, they did fucked up shit back then, but they had less access to information.
Yeah.
Like I can
And I think
literally,
there's a lot more movies showing that
Yeah,
they are corrupt.
yeah. I
And
mean,
people
I can
take-
literally go down the line.
Why do people take TV and movie shows for fucking like
don't
into real life?
I don't know. I mean,
They
I'm
think
just,
it's
I'm just
reality.
saying, like, you can go through every fucking president in U.S. history, but even the ones that have been around since we've been alive, they're all corrupt in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, if you want to attain any sort of power,
You have to be.
You have to
be
have
gotta-
some
corrupt.
sort of
but like, think
corruption.
about that though. Like, in order to attain that power, you got to be the biggest narcissist. Like,
No, 100%.
we make fun of Donald Trump, but we say, well, he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. Anyone who's running for political office is a narcissist.
Did you see?
You think you're that great of
what
a
you- but
person,
it's what you do
that
with
other
it.
people. Well,
But
no,
it-
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
you think you're that great of a person that other people should vote for you to run this city or to run this state or to run
Everybody's-
the country.
anybody in like a
You're a
race
narcissist.
is a narcissist. Anybody
Yeah.
trying to beat someone else to get like
You
people's
think you're
votes?
dope enough to do this job?
Did you see the Amber Rose interview she had with this one dude?
No, I did not.
She straight up said, right when Donald Trump was running, that she looked at him and said, even though I take this for granted, I don't know if she wants to get clout or not, but Amber Rose usually doesn't. She said, that reminds me exactly like Kanye. How he's moving, how he's talking, vote for me, narcissism.
Kanye West is the epitome
Of
of
narcissism.
narcissism.
Yeah.
Like them being cool right now is like, yo, she's seen that from the jump.
So do you think that's out of malice, or do you think it's just like her making
I
observations?
think it's her flat out opinion. Like it actually happened because
Does
she
she
has
have hair now?
nothing. No, I think that was fake.
Oh, okay.
That was a weave. But
Because I saw that clip.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think she's not gaining anything from this.
Sure,
Did
yeah,
we talk
yeah,
about the
yeah,
J.
she-
Cole shit?
What happened with J. Cole?
yeah.
J.
I'll
Cole
listen
and
to that.
Angie Martinez?
Oh, you were talking about that interview.
What happened?
Oh, you didn't see the interview?
Did what
I
happened?
told you. See, niggas don't listen
Yeah,
to the
they
group
don't-
message.
they don't ever-
They don't
No,
want to
they don't
talk.
If they don't
Respond.
reply, then I just feel like
that
they don't
interview
listen.
is probably one of my favorite. Is way better. Than
First off, before we even get started, you are not the person to ever say, "Yo, niggas don't reply to."
Yeah.
I respond when it's needed.
Okay, all right. So
When I
what was-
say watch
Save
this,
me a
and
seat.
tell us-
Save me a
Anywho,
seat. I'm on my way.
J. Cole,
yeah.
I hate you guys.
Niggas real life got brunch. Nigga hit people.
We were
up.
talking about it for a week. We were
I
talking about it for a week.
specifically looked at this at the lady like who was trying to get a gauge as to how many people we were gonna have for brunch. I was like, yeah, I think we're gonna have like.
We're not
5.
going to talk about that group chat because I
This
feel
nigga
like
pops in like, yeah, put me in there too. I'm like, nigga, bro.
We didn't say anything all week.
but y'all didn't know where y'all were going though. Facts or no?
But we still need a head count.
I'm just saying facts or no.
We
Y'all
need a
didn't know where you were
head count.
going.
We still
didn't,
needed
but
a-
we
And
were
right
still
when y'all
going.
figured out where you're going, I was like, put me in. Look back
Just
at it.
go.
Anywho, this J. Cole interview.
Shout out to Angie Martinez.
Yo, he and J. Cole was like, throughout the interview, is like, I don't talk about this. Like, I'm a type of nigga that after this, I'll tell you all about what I think of this nigga. So he's talking about Kanye.
Yeah.
And Kanye tweeted, when he was doing on his tweet rant, that he talked to J. Cole. Remember that, like, picture?
Okay.
That he was,
text?
yeah, like, that he called J. Cole. That he had
Oh,
a
yeah,
conversation
yeah,
with J. Cole.
yeah.
And he was going into that where it was like, when he called me, it wasn't, first of all, he called me. I didn't reach out to him or anything like that. But before that, he was saying like, when I saw him bugging, like just how he was speaking, how he's dancing, that he knew something was wrong already with this dude. So we're talking back false prophets. That's what he was talking about.
Oh
too.
yeah, that record
So,
where
my
he
bad,
sampled Joey Badass. Was that the record?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And he was talking about, and he's like, that whole song wasn't about Kanye, but there's a little part that was.
Yeah, it was just like one line.
And then he was talking about mental illness. We're like, don't talk about mental illness after the nigga gets checked into the mental hospital.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, okay.
After he's like, I seen this nigga bugging before. We all seen this nigga bugging before. Don't go talk about mental illness now because he's rallying for this nigga.
Yeah.
And then he goes into like, I could talk about him rallying for this nigga. Watch this fucking interview, dog.
Okay.
You would
I'll
like
check
it a
out.
lot.
Yeah, and
I'd say Curtis would like it a lot.
I like Angie Martinez interviews
Actually,
a lot.
Let me jump on a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the Kanye part of it. There was a lot of things about social media he was saying. Like, he was like, or she was talking about why, you're not on social media or anything like that until like now. Cause he's like, I'm dropping an album. That was really funny. She's like, why are you out now? I'm dropping an album.
Facts.
Which is
He
true.
makes a little joke,
Which
but
is
he's like,
true.
he felt tied to it. As we all do.
That's well. You know
He's
what?
He said he felt
I don't
controlled.
think
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't speak for you guys. I don't think I'm as tied to it as the general public. Like I don't have a
I
Facebook.
believe that. I
I don't
believe
have
that.
a Facebook or Twitter. I have Instagram, but I don't even post on there. I check stories out. I get on.
But you're like the outlier, dog. of
Yeah, I
the
didn't
whole
realize that.
public.
I didn't realize that. Though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
but
really
I
on
would
my phone
argue
like that.
though still just and not like saying anything against you, but
Oh, yeah, no,
even
no,
just
no.
still looking, that's
Yeah,
a
that's
form
still
of
it, yeah. If you- no,
because
that's what I'm saying,
a
like-
lot of times that's how you find out someone's pregnant now.
Yeah.
You don't hear
Yeah.
from the person
true.
themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You're
I'm not
like,
completely exempt.
Yeah.
I'm just saying no Instagram. That's why half the time y'all bring up shit, I'm like, oh, I gotta look into
And
this.
I was
now.
gonna say
Yeah.
that why Curtis would like this because he was talking about how he used to just delete. I'm gonna cleanse myself. I'm just not even gonna have it.
Yeah.
And he got back on it, and he was like, I got that same pull again. Then he realized that cleanse didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like me just deleting doesn't really do anything
Yeah.
because right when I'm back on it.
But think
and I need
about
to do
a
something.
food cleanse. Like it does something for a little bit, but unless you keep up and change your lifestyle of eating,
Everything in
it
moderation.
doesn't. Yeah,
I think there's it's a little troubling when people only
yeah.
are fixated on that. And it's men and women. I think at one point we kept pushing around like, oh yeah, it's women who are social media obsessed. I'm sorry, there's a lot of guys too.
I'll
bro.
argue.
many.
I'll argue too. Like your age makes a difference. Like here's my thing. am I on social media a lot? Of course I fucking am. Am I still a contributing member of society? Do I still do things socially? Yes.
Sure.
But in college, it was worse because I'd try to study. By the time I get on Instagram, I have realized I've been through 4 different modes of social media and 2 hours have passed and I haven't studied. That's impeding on, my
life.
You were
productivity.
in college 3 years ago?
Yeah,
2
I
years ago?
graduated 2015.
Think about now.
So,
Damn,
right.
we old.
But see, like now
Think
I'm on
about high
it.
school kids.
Think about height.
Yeah, no, but you're on it now. But like,
Yeah.
okay, are you still going to work? Are you getting your work done?
Sure.
Well, you know what? I'm on it. By the time I finish cooking dinner, the dishes are done. I'm watching TV. I'll be on it then. But why
Right.
can't I be on it then?
Well,
That's-
you're
you're allowed.
I've had my whole
This
day.
is what's like unique about us. We grew up without it,
Yeah.
and then it rapidly came in. I think MySpace was. Well, I didn't have a Zanga page.
I
Do
had
you
Zanga.
know-
I had Zanga.
Do you know how many
That shit was
friendships
lit.
your top friends?
Yeah. So like MySpace came around in middle school for me.
Yeah.
And I think most
I
people.
had to go to the library to get on MySpace.
Yeah, there you go. So like
You know
it
what
was
I mean?
different, and it all the social medias quickly came after that. But like we weren't born into it. These kids now that are in high school, they don't know anything other than like
we
getting on
didn't.
social.
We weren't allowed to have cell
Probably
phones.
a lot
I mean,
easier
we had
out
cell
when
phones, but all you could do was text.
Yeah,
and
you
then maybe
weren't
play
on
a
it.
game.
Speaking of
These
the
kids
library
can get
shit,
on everything, bro.
I used to try to. It was like I felt like I was in the Oregon Trail or something because I was spitting at this girl, but only on MySpace, and I can't get on it until after school in the library. So it'd be taking days to spit games. Get on. You gonna meet me at this library? Or what? Bitch, come on. What are you talking about? Stop playing. Wednesday come around. You can't make it. What are you talking about? I've been here for like 2 hours. You ain't coming. Nowadays, meet me over. I'll send you my location in this high school.
That's wild.
Meet me.
Yeah.
I just
Guys got
How do you
Remember
think,
how hard it? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, how do you think teachers enforce the cell phone
I
rule?
don't know. We asked Cassie that. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, she's not in like a.
Well, they don't.
she
Yeah,
can't.
they're not even allowed to have.
should
that.
ask-
Back in
you
our
should ask
days,
Fauna. She
we
works-
had our
she works
phones.
at
They
our-
would
I'm
take
asking.
that shit.
Yeah,
Bro, I gotta
they
snag
probably
it for
take
a
they
minute.
probably take phones down a lot too. Like I don't. This is the phone era. This era. It's funny. We have the most information at our fingertips, but yet I feel like people are dumber than they ever been.
But you know, in college lecture halls, it's like if you're in OSU obviously had crazy big ones. Like I remember my biology one was almost 600 students. Do you think the teacher really was going to stop every student from looking at their phone?
No.
You could text on your
Your Mac. Yeah, right. So at this point,
Right. What
the fuck?
I personally think now that we're at the age of like a lot of our friends are teachers, I think they're kind of like, I really don't care. It's on them
yeah.
if they don't do
Ultimately,
well.
it's gonna. Yeah,
Those
it's
were
gonna
the
happen.
dopest teachers. Was like, yo, I'm literally getting paid if you learn or not.
I don't know if they're the dopest.
no,
Actually,
no.
I want teachers to care.
No, they're real. They're like, I'm gonna be here to teach you.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
be
here.
like,
They're
that's
like,
why
I'm
it's
not
so
here to
hard.
babysit
Like, talk.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your parents want to
Especially if
take
they're
your
in high
phone
school.
away from you,
No, college. I'm talking college.
Oh yeah.
You
well,
have
What
some,
were you gonna say?
I was going to say you got some teachers that just say that out the jump, like, "Hey, I'm not here to babysit. Honest to God,
Yeah.
you either learn the material or not." You know what I'm saying?
we gonna have a good
And that's
time if you
real.
want to have a good
your
time.
parents
yeah.
taking your phone away during dinner is different than sitting in class and your teacher being like, I have to monitor 25 kids with
yeah,
their phones.
I got a question though when it comes to phones. How do y'all feel about like when you guys are like, we go out to eat and like shit like that. We'll get brunch or like just dinner and shit. Like, do y'all have a problem when people are on their phones constantly while you're at
yeah.
dinner?
There-
I was at a
Yeah.
movie, right? And this young lady was on her phone. I don't mind. I'm watching this movie. But she hits me with the, I apologize. I'm being impolite. That was cool. I was like,
That's where
that
I
was,
Yeah,
wow,
that's
what's
nice.
yeah,
up.
that's dope.
I'm like, but I'm good right now. If it's a serious conversation, send a text. I don't care.
Yeah,
Dinner wise, if it's one on one,
yeah. I
it
feel,
had to
I
be a
find that
mutual thing. Like,
I find that to be mad rude.
I think so
Oh,
too.
if it's, no, if
Well,
it's
I'll
them
say this.
two,
See, sometimes we'll be on our phones, but it's
You
like
guys
if
are,
we eat
yeah,
out
I'm
a
saying,
depends on the
lot.
you're
relationship.
just meeting this individual
yeah.
and you're on
No,
your phone.
actually,
like
when
that,
I
then.
get dinner with my girlfriends, it's a big because we don't do that often. So when
Yeah.
we do, it's like we need you to put your phone. Here's the thing: are you texting your boyfriend? Are you texting another friend? How often are you with them that you put your phone down?
Right.
And for dinner, especially when you're out, it's different.
Oh, yeah,
when
no,
you're,
I'm not talking about
But
dinner.
when it's like dinner, like an intimate setting where you're meant to just stare at that person across the table, and then you're on your phone. The only time I think we really get on our phones is like if we're showing a picture or, oh my God, did you guys hear about this?
Or
Like
if
I
you
want to
wanna
show
take a
you
picture.
or take a picture. Right.
that's what I'm saying. You know what would be
different.
super cool? A function where when you walk in, first of all, a lot of celebrities. You remember on the show Insecure, a lot of celebrities
I
have
don't
this.
watch that. You
damn.
always hit me like
anybody watch
I really
it.
don't.
Well,
I really
on the
don't
show
watch.
Insecure, a lot of celebrities have. If you come into my house, drop the phone in the
That's
basket.
dope.
Well, that's
I
more
like
of
that.
like an NDA thing.
Yeah, but I think
But I'm
that's so
saying for
dope.
like as a function, as just friends, it's like, yo, drop the phone in the basket. Let's have a good time.
Yeah.
Just 100, you know,
See,
like 50
I-
people of just no phones and just
Yeah.
music.
Bro, but how are you gonna play the music without phone?
the DJ has his phone. Go ahead. He can have his phone. No one cares about him. I'm talking about, like,
but I'm
people
saying,
dancing.
this is why I used to get annoyed when like people would always like Snapchat me while I'm drinking, having a convo. I'm used to it now because I'm just like, that's just a part of the game. But when it like all that shit first started happening, I'm like, bro, I actually just want to have a good time with my friends without it being broadcasted to the entire world.
I agree.
You
know
know
what I'm saying? Like, I think that
And
was
I gotta
what it
check
was.
myself
I do
because
too.
I hate that when like certain individuals do that, and I'm like, damn, I was just trying to have a good time.
Exactly.
Turn around, I might be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I accept
So
it now. I'm
my
like,
bad.
if I do anything, it's
I
going to be
apologize.
recorded. There's certain things where I'm like, yo, you know better than to record that while this is going on.
But you know the
You know what I'm
funniest
saying?
is when
But-
you watch stories and when you know multiple people are together and that you watch them shooting. Like, let's say someone
Usually
got
it's
like
Bashir.
smeared off ice or something. You know what I mean? Like they got iced. But let's say they got iced and it's like they're videotaping. Oh my god, videotaping, Snapchatting you. But then you see the entire group is also Snapchatting.
Yeah.
And I always crack up because then I'm like, okay, next story.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
Bashir
gonna
was
be-
at the Alpha
like the
last night.
angles,
It's the
like,
same.
oh.
Yeah.
Like your friends are gonna give you the 360 angle.
Exactly.
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
when I was dancing that other week, holy
Alpha, hold
shit.
on,
Okay.
hold on. Can I talk about this because I didn't say
please.
anything to you yet, and I've talked to everyone around me.
Everyone,
Yeah.
please get.
And
Yo, I should get flamed
so-
for what I did.
It was Ashley's story.
This might
Yeah.
be a post on IG. Alpha dancing.
Yo, don't put that
First of all, that's
that's between
it's a cat
everybody.
daddy.
That's,
He's trying to do the cat daddies.
I can't, man. I'm old.
Exactly.
I thought you were gonna rip your pants.
Honestly,
I
I
know
you got
this.
it. You just don't get low enough.
Can't
You
get low. Nigga. But my knees are bad, bro.
So this
too
nigga
far
has
away
a
from
group
the
around
ground.
him, right?
Yeah.
And we're in the other area. I was like, me and Chris were talking. I'm like, where were you when this happened? I was like, oh, we were actually cat daddying
On the
other
dance floor.
side. So I watched this video the day after. There's these white people. Specifically, this one white girl that is in awe of Alpha, and I'm gonna show you later because I got it zoomed in. This girl, Alpha's hitting his dad dance on the cat daddy or whatever.
I'm a dad,
and
bro.
this girl
I'm
goes,
on it,
clap,
bro. Like,
clap. She hits the face, Home Alone, face on a hand. Oh my god! Like he's killing it. Like
I
he's
don't remember.
murdering this dance.
bro. That was.
I cried,
bro.
dog, for at least 5 minutes.
First
I played
off,
that.
We
3
circulated
times, bro.
that video with this group
I don't want
so
you
many
guys.
times.
Look,
I got to show the world.
I am not
the world
allowed
needs to show.
Yo,
see
I'm not
this.
allowed to like dance in public, bro. Don't let me do this shit.
Exactly.
Oh no,
bro.
we'll let you,
You are
as
the
long as we're
funniest
there.
person in the world.
Yo,
dog.
I always say this. Look, I started dancing like a dad at 19.
And now you're dancing like a grandfather.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean, look, I told niggas last
I'm just
time.
happy
Like, the last
you know
time,
you can.
Oh yeah, no, hell yeah. That's why I'm just like, yo, don't. When I get drunk, I don't care. Like life doesn't
I don't think
matter. to
anyone
me.
does either.
Yeah, like,
Like,
life,
you're
like,
that
life
drunk.
don't matter. I'm like, nigga, I don't care. And I look back the next, bro. I saw Ashley's story for like 2 seconds. I'm like,
Oh,
yo,
man.
next. I couldn't even
That-
get
that-
through it.
okay,
I
I
couldn't
hit
get through
replay
it,
on
bro.
that shit 4
I couldn't
times.
get
Oh my
through
god!
it.
Speaking of social media, that's another thing. I hate looking at videos the next day and you're in
Oh,
them,
do
and
you?
yeah, and you think like when you're saying hi, like just you're not saying hi, you're saying hi.
Yo,
Good friend.
you look, yo, I'll be realizing, damn, I was mad annoying last night. Like,
Last
I
night?
should. Good job, shit. That was,
I honestly didn't see you last night. I was wondering.
no,
if you
no,
were
no,
an
no,
asshole.
no. I mean, oh, I thought you were making a joke. That would have been a good joke.
No, he went out last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
were
guess
probably an asshole.
it's just really salty to see how like stupid of a drunk or obnoxious of a drunk that you really are.
Oh my
But you don't
God.
notice it in the moment. You
Yeah.
think you're
You're
like the
growing,
life
though.
of the party.
You're growing. You're growing as a person, and I like that you're seeing that. You can't dance and you know it. I fuck with you.
Honestly, God,
and I still love
Yeah.
you.
That
I
And I still love you.
I've always
But-
known
I still
what
love
can.
you.
To quote Bridesmaids, you're not changing. You're growing, but you're not changing.
What does that even
yeah, we
mean?
don't know.
Man, this
that.
girl,
Man.
yo, this girl. This
I
is
wish
another.
there was
This is
more
a
girls
sec-
on
this
the
is a-
show.
I digress on this shit real quick. This girl posted something that said, "I'm not a snack. I'm a garden. Feed me, and I will grow with you." Some shit like that. And I was like, "Damn, I want to feed you." This dick.
You, my sir, are not growing or maturing.
Yo, me and Driss just looked at each other. I'm
I
like,
know,
yo,
man. I
gotta
wanted to
go,
giggle.
bro.
He was giggling in his face. I saw it.
Okay,
He was giggling.
I will say, though,
Nah,
pretty
but it was
good to
really
her.
cute. It was
Props
very
to
cute.
her.
Yeah, I love
Props to
that. I
her.
love that song. I was like, "Ooh, yeah."
Do you want
Feed her some water.
shout
That's-
her Instagram out?
That's some Erykah
Nah,
Badu
she cool.
shit.
She cool people.
She, yeah, shout her Instagram out.
Cool people.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I don't need to do that.
Okay.
If she
saying,
follows
if-
you, you're lucky.
If it's just that dope.
If she follows you, you lucky.
if it's just that dope.
If she follows you, you lucky.
I'm lucky.
I'm just saying, everyone out here.
Is she that dope?
I don't
of an
have to post it.
individual?
I don't
Is
have
she
to
that dope of an individual?
I mean, I don't know.
You guys are not about to fight on this.
I don't even know this girl like that. She
Done.
cool.
Done. I'm gonna cut you two off.
Yo,
I think we gotta cut each other. Though.
yo, I
think-
love the phone convo. Like, cause I've been like
The
not
phone
just-
convo.
No, I'm saying like how we interact social media. Just
Oh.
having our
I
phones
gotta,
around.
So that J. Cole shit. Let me run back real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking about that. Like, yo, I reach to my phone a lot. What happens if I delete this? This Instagram.
Life moves on.
Oh, it's
Life
safe.
moves on.
You might be in
It's
the
safe.
habit of still reaching for your phone.
But I started
That's how it
playing,
was with
I
Twitter.
started
Yeah.
playing pro and cons in my head. Like I still have Snapchat because that's the way to contact some people. I'm not always on Snapchat.
Yeah.
But I know how to certain people is the only way I could contact them.
See, I think the reason I keep Instagram though is because you can see photos and you can also see stories. But like
There's some interesting shit on Instagram.
with Twitter, it's like I'm getting your opinion. I don't care about
Yeah,
your
nobody
opinion.
cares about
Twitter
opinion.
I don't give a
kind
fuck about you getting up at 8 in the
Twitter's
morning to go
funny
to work.
though.
Yeah, Twitter got some funny ass videos.
Sure.
and porn.
But you see that on Instagram. I always
True.
see Twitter posts on
On
Instagram.
because
Honestly,
people,
I didn't
people
know that.
screenshot
They
that.
Honestly,
and-
screenshot their own Twitter posts and they put it on there.
That's why I keep Facebook for real.
I keep Facebook for
the videos.
Nah, the only reason I
I've
keep
had
Facebook,
Facebook since 2011, man.
the only reason I have Facebook is to sign into like games. And
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that
so
too.
easy. Like,
Okay.
oh, connect to
I
Facebook,
I
yeah,
actually
why not?
also keep Facebook for like professional. Like I have a lot of coworkers that add me, and
That's
I would
another thing.
rather them add me on Facebook.
Facebook.
Because
I'm not
people are
on
like,
that
you don't
shit.
have social media, especially at this age. And yeah, it would be really mature for me to be like, no, I don't have social
But
media
IG
at 24.
did, but IG fucked up because they posted my story on Facebook, and I was
no,
like,
because
my
Facebook
nigga.
owns Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
So no matter what, because I
what?
tried to.
Yeah, my cousin hit me
Yeah,
up
you
like,
didn't
oh,
know
you
that
blocked
Facebook
me?
owned- you didn't
Oh,
know that
blocked me
Facebook
for
owned
real?
Instagram?
No, Facebook owns Instagram.
I mean, I knew that, but I didn't
no,
think
but
that
now, Bashir,
your
they have
story
an
would be
option
on
where
there.
if you hit share, you don't have to hit update.
I'm saying it was like 2 months before I knew this,
Oh,
and I wasn't clicking share. I was just clicking that little, you can click story.
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you about that.
And my
'cause-
cousin hits me up like, oh, you blocked me on Snapchat. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Went on Snapchat, had to make sure I didn't block her. I was like, I didn't block your ass. What are you talking about?
I
She goes,
block-
I see your story. And I'm like, where? She's like, on Facebook. Nigga, what? Facebook. I get on Facebook. Took me like 10 years because I don't know my password. And my IG story from the last week is like on there.
Yeah, I've noticed yours is always on there.
And I'm like, my nigga.
That could
But
be bad.
I do unlink. I'll say this: mine is unlinked, so like not my post automatically won't post on there. It'll just give me an option to do it.
Mine is too. That
But-
motherfucker.
But anyway, I
Fucking
mean,
with
I
my
think
heart.
just in general, I think when you're at this age, like you don't have to necessarily delete social media because as long as it's okay to be on your phone at the end of the day if
Yeah.
you've been going on about your day. You know what I mean? There's a difference. But when you are in school, like in college, I think it was the worst because one, it's like, that's like people DMing you or like, when you're trying to study, you have that stuff. Like that's when I kind of laid back and I was like, maybe I should get rid of it.
for sure.
But now it's like,
It's discipline. It's
am I
like-
not social? I'm social.
Yeah.
We're social.
You can
It's
still
okay
be
to be on
social,
it.
have social media and be social and not be hooked on your phone.
Yeah, I like seeing that. At least at this age, we see all the pregnancy announcements and the
I don't care
engagement
about any of
announcements.
that, but
I
mean, like, I think it's
exciting.
cool.
Gender reveals.
I think it's cool to see.
Yeah,
but
it's always
like,
dope to see.
If you're saying,
Actually, you know what I watch the
care,
gender
but-
reels for? The guy.
Yeah,
Because you can see how the difference between how happy they are when it's blue
Yeah.
and when it's pink. They're like, yeah, grab his girl. It's like, yeah, we good. But when it's
A
a
boy,
boy,
they go
get out of my way.
crazy.
Get out of my way.
I got a son.
I got a son.
Well, all right. Quick question: would you rather have a daughter or a son?
Oh, come on, bro. Don't
Son.
have that.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually,
So-
I said my first kid, I would love to have a daughter.
Yeah, all right.
Because
So if I'm
her growing-
planning on having multiple kids, yeah, I'd actually rather it be a girl.
But you
than a
don't know
boy.
if you're going to have
That's the
multiple
thing,
kids or
yeah.
not.
Wait,
Yeah.
why is that?
Because I just feel like it's an older. I feel like the sister being older is just better.
I like,
think there's
I
more
like
spot-
that.
yeah,
She could be
for
the
whatever.
second mom to
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think it
more-
also
I think
depends.
that's
The sister
more-
is
That's
our
smart.
low-key- not
Yeah,
my mom,
but I also
That's
depends
smart.
on how close the oldest child is to which parent. That also makes a difference.
What do you
mean?
Like if you have a son that grows up that ends up being closer to the mom, which that happens a lot, or vice versa.
Yeah,
You have a-
does that happen? Yeah.
Yeah, it's always mama
I feel
boy,
like I'm equally
daddy's
close
girl.
to my parents.
I think I'm the same way.
at this
But
point.
it is
Depending
always
on the
mommy's
week.
boy,
Not me.
daddy's girl.
I'm
It's
a
usually daddy
mama's
girl,
girl.
mommy's boy.
Yeah.
You're a mama's boy or you're a daddy's girl, right?
I'm a
bugging?
mama's
Yeah.
girl all the way.
Because realistically,
I'm
I
a
feel like
mama's
if I had a
girl.
daughter, I'm gonna spoil the fucking shit out of
Hell
her.
yeah.
Bro. 'Cause that's
See,
my
I'm a mama's
you know
boy.
what's funny?
That's
I
my girl.
wouldn't. I would treat her like a boy. I think that's just how I am. Because
If
I'll be like, yo, you're playing baseball.
Oh yeah, she's playing sports
Ooh,
and stuff.
You're playing basketball.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna
hell
post
yeah.
you up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a shoulder.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, I
I'm
want her
saying,
to be
yeah.
tough.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Your
want-
mom
And I feel
Sumie
like
start beefing.
I'm sorry, Bashir.
Whoa, what the fuck? That's
No, I have something coming up. I have something
Well,
coming up.
I'm saying, I think it's great to keep your daughter in sports because that keeps her out of trouble. I mean, just
Ooh,
like the son.
discipline.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not even discipline. It's just like,
not
yo,
discipline.
you don't want your daughter. I don't want my daughter getting pregnant at 17. Yo, stand like just
Distraction.
be busy.
That's what I meant, distraction.
just be busy.
Do you
all-
mean sports or just extra activities in general? Like it
Well,
could be like
sports also teach discipline, but any
Singing,
sort of
like,
any
instrument.
sort of like
But-
just be driven by something. So yeah, you're gonna bring up Sumie and
Yeah, I was talking about because like mama's boys, like my wife, she knows never put her, or she should know never to put her and my mom
In the same.
up to like a battle because it's gonna be really hard. So Sumie and your mother start fighting. What side do you pick?
No, neither.
You're wrong.
Neither.
That's it.
you're
That's
wrong
the
on
win.
both sides.
You're
at that
wrong.
point.
That's what you take. You take your own side. Like, you know what? I'm wrong.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But like my wife, I'm a mama's boy to the heart. She says, "Yo, your mom's stripping." I'm like, first of all, stop talking to my mama like that. I'll bust you in your face. I'm not gonna do that. I love my wife. I'm gonna have my
Okay.
You gotta
wife,
play
my
both sides
theoretical.
for real.
But you know what?
just
I
gotta-
will say this.
I mean,
so
she got to be
You might
logical.
be, but you have to be logical as a son
Yeah.
too. Even as a daughter. Okay, if you know the way your mom is, like, honey, I know she's that
That's
way.
what-
She's not going to change. But you know what? You know that she's older. That's how you should be talking to her. You shouldn't be like, don't talk about my. It's the way she says it. Like,
That's how it usually is,
sweetie,
like-
your mom's doing it again. Like,
Yeah.
it's driving me crazy. There's a difference between having a conversation like that and being like, your fucking mom is being fucking annoying.
That's the thing.
And like, you know, like that's a disrespectful
It's
way to
the
bring it up.
delivery.
Yeah.
Of
Right.
the line. Like
But
your
if
mom's
you-
bugging right now. Go get
Sure.
her. Like, you know what? You're right. I'll go get her.
But you should have you should be conscious enough to be like,
don't know.
I know that's how my mom is.
I don't know how we get.
How do we get
I
here?
don't know.
Yeah,
There
I
was
don't
like
get
3
here?
topics before,
Well, because
and I didn't know how we got
listeners,
there.
sorry, we didn't have a main topic this week, but there was a lot of things that happened.
We were just talking to talk.
and then we got on the phones. Yo,
Where's
you know-
Curtis?
Oh yeah,
I'm about to call this nigga.
Yeah.
bro.
I already called him.
you
Bro.
know
He's
what
having a
we
good
should-
time at the museum.
I
Yeah,
should
he's
just-
he's
you think
checking
so?
hard. He's checking hard.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's actually dope. I kind of want to go there. The Wexner.
I've been
We've
there.
never done that shit on the podcast.
I thought you said it was
though.
the first day today.
What?
We never called
They have
somebody.
different exhibits.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I went to the Ann Leibovitz
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
was
let's
good.
give him a call.
You want to
Let's
give
give him
Curtis
a
a call? All right, good. Curtis.
While
He's
you
like- he's
try to
probably the
reach
best
Curtis,
person to
you
call.
try to reach Curtis. We'll talk.
I mean, you're gonna hear the
Next time
ringing.
next time we all, of course we're gonna hear it ring. God damn it.
Keep it on the low.
Or just fucking take the phone
I-
off of the cord.
I don't
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
it. I
yeah.
hear it ringing.
Oh, it's ringing. Hold up.
He's gonna start with my guy.
I want him to answer the phone in the most ignorant way.
I wonder how this is gonna play out.
Oh, I hope it's not that ignorant.
He may not just answer it.
Yo.
Yo, we got you on the podcast, bro. This is being
Live.
recorded.
Hey man, I feel like y'all Charlemagne right now.
How's the art
good, though.
museum? How's the art museum?
Why don't you tell everyone where you're at and what you did?
Huh?
Tell everyone where you're at and what you did.
So y'all still include me in the podcast. This is why I love y'all, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
First went to the Wexner Center, Art Center, flyer shit, everything's flyer.
Recommended? Is it
Was there anyone's exhibit that was featured?
Yeah, they had some Andy Warhol stuff up.
Oh, I wanted to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's
All
fire.
right, good decision.
And
Good
today-
decision. Good decision to skip the podcast. Then. God damn.
They had a tomato can?
And today was the first day that they opened. I didn't even know that. So today admission was free.
What?
They
Oh,
always
we should've
redo it
fucking
a
went.
little bit.
Yo, hey, listeners, fuck you guys. Then we're out here trying to fucking.
We're trying to please y'all. Yeah.
We could have been getting intellectually stimulated by some art.
Warhol. Come on.
Now,
Hey,
I
Curtis.
randomly- what's up?
Yanny or Laurel?
I've heard both.
You heard both?
Curtis,
Yeah.
hey,
What's up?
close this out for us, bro.
Yeah, we're pretty
gonna
much
have
getting
you
ready to
end it.
wrap.
Y'all
Yeah.
closing out.
Yeah.
Y'all closing out.
Yeah.
All right. Man, bruh, who came up with this?
It was Driss's idea. Come on.
Of
you
course. Come on.
All
now.
right, see, that's why I love you, man. All right, man. And once again, sorry guys, I couldn't be there, and I know y'all missed me, but we had a good week. I hope you have a even better week, and blessings. Follow all social media at social critics _ critics, and keep moving.
2 S's.
Two S's.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
That was fire.
Hey, all right.
Good looks, bro.